You cannot hide behind this grin, behind these tattoos, behind, I don't know, some gold. You cannot hide behind that. It's only going to be a certain amount of time before you get exposed for the person and the character that you have built behind the scene. How to become a great parent. And listen, I've only been a parent now for 12 years to my oldest son. All right? I have my younger one who's about to turn 9. And I'm not the best parent, but I've been deemed as a great parent since day one. But I always say that in the last 5 or 6 years is when I've really stepped it up. Okay, so I've been in this game for over 1,000 days, right? Going back to 2 videos behind you. If you haven't seen that video, make sure you do. And in this game of parenting, that's how I see everything. It's either a game or a fight. I'm waking up every day to play this game in this part of my life, or I'm waking up this day to fight this fight in this part of my life. So in this game of being a parent and having to evolve as your children evolve has been probably the most fulfilling, satisfying journey of my life. And the best thing that I always play these scenarios in my head. The best scenario that I play in my mind to continue to thrive, right, and continue to strive to be a better parent is everything that I do behind closed doors. Right now, there's nobody in my house. It's a Sunday. I could be doing whatever the fuck I want. All right, I could be behind closed doors doing I don't fucking know what, hiding or isolating or wasting time. But I picture myself as if from the second I wake up, early as fuck in the morning, and I choose to continue to tap into my higher self, work on bettering myself every day. It's almost like my children have a hidden camera directly to their mind. And it's almost like they do. Let me explain, right? Even though your children might not think or see the shit that you think they don't see, it reflects off of you. It's the incremental things, the details that build your character. If you're doing shit behind the scenes and you're coming in front of them and acting like if you're parent of the year, guess what? They might not realize it. You might not realize it, but that energy is transferring over to them. That quitter energy is transferring over to them. And they're gonna think it's okay to quit just because daddy has a smile, just because mommy has a smile on her head, on her face, doesn't necessarily mean that they're winning behind the scene. Right? You walking into the kitchen with a dark ass fucking cloud over you, guess what? That's going to reflect onto them. So that's why I always say it doesn't matter if they're watching, if they're present. I can always feel their presence. I can feel like if they're watching me. Because as I am evolving, as my character is being designed, all right, I am giving that version to them. Analogy, here we go. I like to paint things in analogy. I almost want you to think as yourself as like some type of machine, right? I think of myself as a fucking machine. And if you're building this machine with silver, all right, you're gonna be broken easily. Just because silver shines, all right, it's not the same thing as platinum. So even if you want to build certain parts of your machine with platinum and have little bits and pieces, your heart, your mind, right, with silver, guess what? When that shit breaks, it shows. If you're doing shit behind the scenes, if you're escaping to a drug late night, if you're, I don't fucking know, you have a porn addiction, if you think that people are not gonna notice just because they don't see it, you're fucking wrong. It will reflect in your character. It will reflect in your drive. Do you understand that? Might not be today, might not be tomorrow, but it will reflect. You will be exposed eventually, because it's what happens behind closed doors, behind the scene, that people get to witness and experience as the years go. if you're not continuing to evolve, if you're not continuing to build yourself, right, eventually you're going to fucking break. And guess what? All that shit that you thought you were hiding, boom, just got exposed. I want you to think about that. Again, there is no parent's manual. There is no such thing as a parent's manual. You can read all the Be a Parent for Dummies books, every fucking parent guide that you think you could think of. There is never going to be a better parenting manual besides the one that you walk in every single day. You want your children to be anything of significance, anything of positive, anything of influence to your community, be that person yourself. That's how that shit works. That's how it works. That's it. You want to be a good parent? You want your children to be upstanding citizens of this world, right? Be that yourself and let them follow in your lead. All that beating your chest, loud talking shit, but you're walking into the kitchen with a big ass belly, pair of fucking titties, right? You don't have bass in your voice. You don't even believe in yourself enough to speak with some fucking tonality. They're going to see that. You cannot hide behind this grin, behind these tattoos, behind, I don't know, some gold. You cannot hide behind that. You cannot hide behind that. It's only going to be a certain amount of time before you get exposed for the person and the character that you have built behind the scene. The person you see today, for anyone who is watching this video that has known me for 10 plus years, the only thing you can say about me is, damn, this motherfucker does not stop surprising me. Holy shit, I thought he made it. I thought he was doing good for himself. Fuck, this motherfucker just keeps growing. And that's because of the details, the incremental shit that I do behind the scene. And honestly, this just pours into every other area of your life. That's my advice to you as being a parent. Becoming the best parent that you can be is by being that person yourself. Go through the shit that you want your children to go through so you can feed them that wisdom. If you don't put yourself through any hardships, if you don't do anything challenging, all right, guess what? Your children are going to have to see that, and you're going to have to witness that. And then you're going to be living in resent, and you're going to be resentful. You're going to be regretful because you didn't go through it yourself to be able to teach them. And some of the shit is going to scar them for life. The worst scar that your children will ever have is following in the footsteps of the piece of shit that you are. Because you don't want to change that. But you expect your children to be better than you? Think about how much better your children can be than you if you become your greatest self. Of course I want my children to be better than me. Our children should always be better than me. But our children shouldn't be better than the piece of shit that we are. So what does that amount to? If you're a piece of shit and your children come out to just a little bit smaller of a piece of shit, you're still a piece of shit because you're a piece of shit. But if you can amount to being the greatest version of yourself that you could potentially be, you give your children some fucking work to do. And your children are always going to amount to be someone and something better than you, just because a simple fact of evolution. You want to be the greatest parent? Be the greatest you.